Good afternoon. Welcome to AJC's live event. My name is Joe Wheeler. I'm the Senior Manager of Customer Service, and I see we have 91 readers who have joined us today. We appreciate you. Your support is not only crucial to our ability to provide you with local journalism, but it also makes special events like this possible. Today, we'll be covering the ePaper, and since we've had a number of questions around mobile use, we'll be using an iPad in our demonstration. Before we start, I did want to first of all acknowledge those of you who have already submitted questions. If you haven't already received a response on your question, you will receive one shortly. If anyone has a question that you would like to ask during today's event, please click or tap on the question mark with a circle around it and enter your question into our live chat. We have a team of experts who will be happy to respond either in chat or we may also include it in our post-demonstration discussion. We'll be focusing on the ePaper navigation, so if your question isn't directly related to that, we may respond after the event, but we will respond. Finally, we are recording this session, so you can always go back and view it again whenever you want. Before we jump in, I'd like to introduce you to the star of the show, Len Woodson. Len supervises our in-house customer service team and is an expert on all things digital. Len is a strong proponent of our local community, and when he's not helping our readers, he can be found on the softball field coaching our team or in his backyard perfecting his barbecue skills. Len?
All right. Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate that introduction. And first, I'd like to say welcome and thank you guys so much for joining us today. So for today's demonstration, we're going to be accessing the ePaper using an iPad, and we're going to access it through our web browser. The web address that we're going to use for this demonstration is AJCcom/ePaper. So that web address will direct you to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution's ePaper website, as you can see here. Now, one of the main differences that you'll notice from our mobile version and our desktop version is the toolbar that's normally found in the upper right corner is located at the bottom of the page. That's actually the only real difference between our mobile version and our desktop version, is that the toolbar again has moved from the upper right corner of the page to the bottom of the page there. Now, what you'll find is above the ePaper is our special sections toolbar. Our special sections toolbar allows you to access the different special sections of the paper. So you'll find our Braves after the game, our Sports Insider, our daily savings, which is a list, or it gives you access to all of our sales ads. You can access the sales ads from that particular day's paper, or you can access the sales ads from the last 30 days, it looks like. There are also our bonus ebooks, which are cookbooks, which are really cool. You can access our podcast, our newsletters, and our special sections tab will allow you access to all of our special sections from throughout the year, which is really cool because I really like accessing all of our sports information or our sports special section books. So you'll find really cool information there. Now, to get back to the ePaper itself, you want to look over to the left side of the page and click on the Today's Paper tab, and that will direct you back to that thumbnail that you saw initially when we came onto this page. So if you click the thumbnail, that will grant you access to today's paper. Now, once you press the thumbnail, you'll be directed to the main page of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So this is the front page of today's paper. So you can use your finger to scroll up or down to access the content or to read stories. You'll notice a little red box around this headline here. That indicates that this is a special insert, or it will take you directly to that particular story if you press that one section that's highlighted with that red box there. But you can scroll up or down to view the content, and you also can swipe left or right to change the page. Now, to get to a particular section, what you want to do is look down toward the bottom of the page, and you'll notice two numbers, or a set of numbers, 1 to 51. That allows you access to our sections toolbar. So if you click that sections toolbar, that will bring up our sections of the ePaper. So you can look at those particular sections by scrolling left or right, and it will highlight the sections as you scroll, and it'll give you access to different pages from those sections. Or you can jump from section to section by clicking the section itself. So for example, if I wanted to look at the sports section, I would simply click the word sports, and that would highlight or bring up the pages from the sports section. Now, the first page of the sports section will be located in the lower left corner of the page. So if I press that page that's found in the lower left corner, which says page 24, that will bring up the first page of the sports section. Now, if I wanted to view the page in its entirety and get rid of that sports section, the sections toolbar, I can just simply tap the page or hit the X that's on the right side of the sections toolbar. Now I can read this page by scrolling up or down, as we discussed, right? I can turn to the next page by swiping left, or I can go back to the previous page by swiping right. Now, if I wanted to read an article on this page, I can do so by, again, just reading it in its current view. I can increase the size of this page by using my fingers kind of in a pinching motion, and I can pinch it to increase the size, or I can pinch it to decrease the size. Now, if I wanted to read the article, say in a more individual kind of a article type of a setup, that's called article view. I would just simply tap that article itself, and that would display the article in what's called article view. And I can read this article by scrolling up or down using my finger. I can turn the page of this article by selecting the next article tab that's located in the lower right corner of the page, and that will turn the page to the next page. I can use my finger to swipe left or right, or I can just select previous article, and it will take me back to the previous article. Now you will notice at the top in the upper left corner of the page, there's another toolbar. This toolbar allows you to share, or it gives you the ability to share this article. You can share via email. You can share it using your social media accounts like Facebook or Twitter. You can clip this article for sharing. You can print the article. You can increase or decrease the size of the article by pressing the letter A with the plus sign. That increases the size of the article. You can decrease the size of the article by pressing the letter A with the minus sign. Another cool feature that we have is you can change the language that the article is in by pressing that flag there, and it will change the language of the article. So for example, if you speak Spanish, or if you speak German or French or whatever language you speak, you can change the language that the article is in by pressing that particular icon. Now, one of the other cool features is the talk aloud feature. If you notice, there's it looks like a little face with little waves coming out of it. That's a talk aloud feature. It allows this paper to be read to you. So if you're ever on the go and you don't have time to sit down and read the paper, if you press that icon, it will allow the paper to be read aloud to you. So if you press the icon, you'll get a little message here letting you know what to do and how to use it. You press close, and you press the play button, and it will start to read the paper aloud to you. So if you want to close this particular option, you just press the little X that's found next to the play button, and that will close that particular option for you. Now, if you want to get back to the main section, or if you want to get back to the sections view that you were on, or the sections toolbar, there is an X located in the upper right corner of this page. You simply hit that X, and that will take you back to the main page that you were on. And you'll notice the sections toolbar numbers are listed at the bottom of the page. You'll know it's there because it has the number slash the last number of the paper. So if I select 24 of 51 there, 2451, that will take me back to our sections toolbar. So I'm going to press it. You guys can't see it, but I'm going to press it, and it's going to bring up our sections toolbar again. So if I wanted to access a different section or a particular section, I can choose the section by scrolling left or right on the sections toolbar, or I can simply put my finger on those pages down there at the bottom and scroll left or right, and it will allow me to access any section of the paper. So for example, if I wanted to go back to the main page of the paper, I would simply select main, and the main page of the paper is found in the lower left corner of the page. So I'll tap that, and I'm back on the main page of the paper. I can close this view by pressing the X on the right side of the sections toolbar, or just tapping the page, and it will remove that sections toolbar. And I wanted to point out again that if you notice the little red box glowing around that headline there, that's a special section or something that's been inserted into the paper. If you tap that, that will take you directly to that particular article or page that that article is on, which is a really cool feature. So if you wanted to read that particular section or that particular headline, and that little red box is flashing, if you tap it, it will take you to that particular section or that particular story. And to get back to the main page, again, hit the those section numbers that are found there at the bottom of the page, and that will take you back to our sections toolbar. And you can press main page or go to any particular section that you're looking for. Now, above the paper here, you'll notice our toolbar here. This will allow you to print the particular page, that you're on, if you need to. There's also a bookmarks tab there. It looks like a little flag that will allow you to bookmark this page if you wanted to come back and read it later, for example. The upload option gives you the ability to share this article or share the page that you're on by email or your social media accounts, which is pretty cool. The box with the arrow pointing down, this allows you to download a particular page, or it will allow you to download the entire paper if you like for offline reading or sharing. So if you're ever traveling and you wanted to read the paper and you were in a situation where you didn't have Wi-Fi, you can download the paper and come back and read it later, or read it while you're on an airplane or wherever you are that doesn't have Wi-Fi. The icon that you see next to that looks like scissors cutting paper, this will allow you to clip a particular image or article. You can clip an article or clip an image by selecting that icon, hitting OK, and you would simply drag your finger across that particular section, image, or article, and this will allow you to clip and save or share this particular article or image. To close it, there's a little X there. You just tap that X and it'll close that option out. Now, next to the clipping icon, it looks like a paper with a corner bent on the end. That's the single and double page view. If you press that icon, this will basically give you more of a traditional double page view of the paper. Now, unlike our PC or desktop version, it doesn't turn like a traditional paper. You just use your finger to swipe left or right, and it gives you a double page view. To get back to the single page view, simply hit that icon again, and it will put the paper back in single page view. And you can read the paper again in the format that you choose to read it in. You can read it in again in the current format, or you can select the article itself and read it in article view. Now, the arrow that's found in the upper left corner of the page, that arrow will direct you back to the thumbnail of the paper where we originally started. So if you tap that arrow, arrow, that will take you back to the place you started, where our special sections toolbar is in the thumbnail of the paper. Now, below the thumbnail of the paper are our previous editions. And what previous editions are, they're back issues. what you're looking at here are the last 30 days of back issues. So if you wanted to read a particular paper or an article, you just locate that paper in that day from the last 30 days and you'd go to that paper. Now you also can access the last 4 years of back issues as well. And to do so, you will notice above the back issues, opposite of the previous editions words, there's a little calendar. It looks like a little calendar. You tap that and you simply access the year of the paper that you're looking for. So if I was looking for something in 2018, I select 2018 and I select the month. And this will take me to 2018, November 2018, and then I'd locate the paper that I'm looking for. So if I was looking for the 1st of November, I would scroll down and locate the 1st of November, which you see there. Now to get back to where I was, I'd simply go back up to the calendar icon, select the calendar icon, select the current year, and select the current month, and that will direct you back to the current day's paper. Now our search icon that's found in the upper right corner of the page, that will allow you to search for keywords, columnists, and any key information that you're looking for, dates and so on and so forth. So if you were looking for something in particular, you could use that search icon and that would allow you to search the paper for what you were looking for. Now, that demonstration concludes our mobile ePaper version, or excuse me, our mobile ePaper layout of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I'm going to turn you back over to Joe for Q&A.
Thank you very much, Len. I appreciate that. We've got a lot of good questions coming in. One question, or actually we've had a couple around traveling and accessibility to the ePaper. So Denise Clark and Elizabeth Phillips in particular, I see y'all had questions about accessing the paper when you're in Florida or traveling internationally. You can actually hit this within the United States as well, but within the United States, you should be able to access the ePaper without any problem. If you are in Europe, we are currently unavailable due to GDPR restrictions, but we are actively looking into options to resolve that. If you do receive a message about being restricted, please check and see if you're using a VPN or a virtual private network. Those typically allow you to set the country that the accessing server is located in, and it will automatically set it if you're not setting it yourself. Those can set you as being in a location within Europe, in which case you would be blocked due to GDPR. But if you're not using a VPN and you're within the United States, you should be able to access it with no problem. And again, we are looking into options to bypass, or not bypass, but meet the GDPR guidelines so that we can offer it. We're just not there yet. And then we have Gerard Lozano. What if I want to retrieve a specific article but don't have or remember publishing date or headline? Len, would you like to field that one?
Sure. Thank you, Joe. So if you wanted to search for a specific article and you don't know the headline or the date, that's okay. You just really need a keyword or something that would allow our system to, or excuse me, allow the paper to search for that particular article. So you would need some type of key information from that article. So again, any key information that you have from the article would work. So it doesn't have to be a headline or a date. You just need maybe a name. Maybe if the article was talking about a specific person, if it was referencing, for example, President Trump, you could search using that keyword. But keep in mind that it's going to bring up anything associated with that keyword. So as much information that you have is helpful. So the more information, the better. But if you have, again, just a name or something like that, it's going to give you a very broad return in the information that it finds. But again, the more specific the information, the better the search.
Excellent. Thank you, Len. And we've had several questions about the availability of the print paper. So depending upon your location, what I would recommend is if we are not available in your area, you can contact 404-522-4141. That is our main customer service line, and they can tell you where a single copy outlet is located near you. We also have mail options if you want the print paper. Just be aware that typically with mail, it's to the U.S. Post Office, and the 7-day delivery is a standard 3 to 5 delay period between the time of the paper being published and availability. That's why we're trying to make sure that the e-paper is available for you wherever you travel, so that you always have it available at any time. And then John W. asks, will all articles and advertisements of the daily paper be available in digital form? Len?
I'm sorry, repeat that question again.
I'm sorry. Will all articles and advertisements of the daily paper be available in digital form?
Yes, those articles are available in digital form, and you can access any sales ads that are typically in the printed paper. It's listed there under daily savings in where our special sections tabs is located, and any particular article you would search using the icon, or if you know it's in today's paper, you just go to that particular section of the paper and find that article or section that you're looking for.
Thank you, Len. And Joanne is asking what the cost is, and depending upon whether you want the print or the digital, either way, you can go to AJCcom/subscribe to access our current offers, or you can again call the 404-522-4141, and a customer service agent will be happy to help you with that. And then Len, John S. is asking if you can go over the login steps again.
Sure, no problem at all. So if you're not logged into the paper, so I demoed this particular, I demoed the paper today from a logged in state. So if you're not logged in to the paper, I'm going to decrease the size just for a moment so you guys can see. The settings icon is where you get to the section where you can log in or log out. So I'm going to press that settings icon, and I'm going to select my account, and I'm going to, if I were to hit log out, it would log me out of the paper. So if you were not logged in, you wouldn't necessarily have to go here, but if you wanted to log out, you would go here. But if you didn't want to, if you weren't logged in, once you come to AJCcom/ePaper, you'd be looking at this thumbnail here. And actually, let me demo that for you, John. I apologize. So I'm going to log out. So if you're not logged in, this is what you'll see. So when you press the thumbnail of the ePaper, it will direct you to a login box. So you enter your login information here, and it will log you into today's paper. Now, it will direct you to the main page of today's paper. You won't be at this area here with the thumbnail. Once you log in, it will automatically take you to the main page or the front page of today's edition. So again, we're looking at the paper from a logged in state. If you are not logged in, when you go to AJC.com /ePaper or access the ePaper, you'll be directed to this thumbnail area. Once you press the thumbnail, you'll get a login box. You simply enter your username, which is your email address, and the password you've created to access or to be logged into the paper.
Excellent. Thank you, Len.
You're welcome.
And Reed is asking, I have a paid subscription, but when I try to read the articles, it says that I don't have access. How do I get past that? So if anyone is having trouble accessing the ePaper or AJC.com with a paid subscription, please reach out to us at digitalhelp@ajc.com, or you can dial the 404-522-4141, and we'll be happy to assist you. That's obviously not something we can troubleshoot right now because each account is individual, and there's several different factors that play into it, but we have agents that will be happy to take care of that for you and get you back up and running. And then Walter asks, I don't know how to read the newspaper on my computer. So Len, can you just very quickly run through how to access on the computer versus iPad?
Sure. It's pretty much, it's actually the same process. You would access the ePaper through your web browser here. So whatever browser you have on your computer, whether it's Firefox, whether it's Google Chrome, whichever browser you have. And on my iPad here, I'll show you. So this is the browser here. This is Safari. On your desktop computer, of course, that's going to look different. So the icon for your internet may look like a circle with colors in it. That's Google Chrome. Firefox, it looks like a little fox circling a globe. So you would access whatever internet browser you have. It's going to bring up your internet browser. And once it brings up your internet browser, your web browser is usually located at the top of the page there. You simply select the browser information and you type in the web address. So I'm going to type in AJCcom /ePaper, which is already loaded for me, and it would direct you to the ePaper. So again, if you were on a PC or a desktop, again, it's going to look different than this, but what you want to do is you want to access that information using your browser. But something that's really cool is we have an ePaper email that we send out every morning at 5:30. So if you get that email, you actually don't have to log in through your browser. There's a link in that email that will open the paper for you and direct you, will send you directly to the ePaper. And if you need help accessing that or getting signed up for that email, you can contact us, as Joe mentioned, at customer care at 404-522-4141. But again, to answer your question, to access the ePaper like we did today, you simply open your web browser and type in the web address ajc.com /ePaper, and that will direct you to the ePaper website. Now, if you've never logged in before, you will have to log in using your username and password, which is an email address and the password you created. But if you have any trouble with that, as Joe mentioned, just contact us at customer care and we'll be happy to assist.
Excellent. Thank you, Len. And then Beverly is asking, would it be possible to email a summary of all features that are available to us online, mobile, a summary of how to navigate to everything? Actually, if you go to ajc.com /help, we have a full suite of articles that walks you through how to do everything. It also has a list of what features are available online. And if you have, again, any questions about that, please reach out. But everything as far as navigation should be available online at ajc.com /help. And then Len, we are getting a question from Catherine about how to search for a specific article after the AJC has emailed about it, like in the top 5 things you need to know. So can you address how to do a search
Sure.
on ajc.com as well as ePaper?
Sure, of course.
Thank you.
So if you wanted to search a particular article or something that you saw on the top 5 things to know, you would come here, and I'm going to decrease the size here to make sure that you guys can see my search icon. There's a search icon that's found on the upper right of the page, right next to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution banner there. You can use that search icon to search for a keyword or article. So for example, again, if I wanted to pull up something on President Trump, I would simply type his name and hit enter, and it's going to bring up anything related to President Trump. Now, to your question, if you wanted to find something specific, you would want to search using for that the article name or something specific, so that our ePaper could zero in on that particular article or whatever it is you're searching for. But to search via our mobile version, or when you're within the ePaper, you simply use the search icon that's found in the upper right corner of the page. Now, the desktop version has a similar search icon. It looks exactly the same. And you can search, again, using that icon that's listed, that's shown there in the upper right corner of the page.
Thank you, Len. And AJC.com, we had the same icon as well.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Joe. You didn't mention that.
Yeah.
I'll
No
go
worries.
to AJ.
We got you
I'll go
covered.
to I'll go to AJC.com for you as well. So in my web browser, I've typed AJC.com. So this is our main page for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. This is our website. So you can see here, there is a search icon here as well, found in the upper right corner. So if you're searching for something in particular, you would simply use that icon to search whatever it is that you're looking for. So if I wanted to, again, search something regarding President Trump, I would just type in the information that I want to use to search, and it's going to bring up anything related to President Trump. So the more specific the information, the more information the search will yield. So if you want something in particular, like you mentioned, from the top 5, you just want to know exactly what it is from the top 5 you're searching for. So you want the headline or the columnist who wrote it, or some type of keyword that would direct you to that particular article.
Thanks, Len. And we have a few more questions. Frank is asking how to navigate quickly from one section to another. And before you jump to that, Len, we also have some, I think we can combine some stuff. We also have questions about navigating on a small screen from Patrick, and Lawrence is asking about enlarging articles so that they're more readable. So can you walk us through very quickly again the navigation jump and the pinch to zoom as well as article view?
Sure. So once you go in the actual ePaper, right, while we're on this page here, it's in its normal ePaper mobile view. So if I wanted to increase the size of this page, I would just, because I'm on a mobile device, you would use your fingers to pinch to increase the size. And you would use your fingers to pinch to decrease the size. Now, if you wanted a more individualized kind of a view, so for example, if I wanted to view this article, but I didn't want to use that pinching motion because it wasn't comfortable for me to read in this view, I would simply tap that article, and it's going to put the article in what's called article view. Now, in this view, you can increase or decrease the size by pressing the letter A with the plus sign, with the plus symbol there, or the letter A with the minus symbol. And the plus symbol will increase the size of the font to a larger size, or you could decrease the size by pressing the letter A with the minus symbol next to it. So that's how you would increase or decrease the size. You could also use the pinching motion here as well to increase or decrease the size, but it's simpler just to use the A with the plus sign or the A with the minus sign as well when you're in article view. Now, to jump from section to section quickly, you'll notice at the bottom of the page, you'll see 1 of 51. These are the number of our sections. You simply tap those numbers, and you'll notice the section toolbar will pop up for you. Now, on the section toolbar at the top, you'll see the section that I'm on will be highlighted. So I'm on the main page, so main is highlighted. So if I wanted to jump to the sports section, I would use my finger to scroll across and tap sports. And it's going to change those pages at the bottom to the sports section. And the first page of the sports section is found in the lower left corner of the page. So I tap that page, and it would take me directly to the first page of the sports section. So I can read the sports section by scrolling up or down and using my finger to scroll left or right to turn the page. Now, if I wanted to go to a different section, I would go back to the number of sections that's located there at the bottom of the page. See where it says 23 of 51. I tap 23 of 51, and it's going to bring up my sections toolbar again. So if I wanted to go to our living section, I would just simply tap the word living. And it's going to bring up the first page of the living section in the lower left corner of the page. So I tap that page, and the living section will be the first page that appears. And if you're viewing the ePaper on a smaller device, for example, on a cell phone, there shouldn't be much of a drop off in regards to functionality. You should have the same look and feel that you have here on this mobile device. Everything should actually be in the same exact place. The only difference you'll see is when you're on a PC or desktop version, the page may be a little more condensed because you're looking at it from a mobile view, but there shouldn't be much of a drop off in regards to performance or functionality if you're looking at it from on a smaller device, or say, for example, a tablet or a cell phone. So you should have the same look and feel, the same experience.
Excellent. Thanks again, Len. Let's see. And hopefully that also answered your question about for vision impaired readers enhancing their digital experience. We also have the ability to tap on a text to speech option. I don't know if we want to subject everyone to the voice, but Len, can you just very quickly show that option?
Of course.
And while Len is pulling that up, we also have a question from Lori about how two people log in at the same time, husband and wife on the same account. You can actually add on in the My Account section. You can go in and add another email to help you log in, so that you both have a separate login, or you can both log in at the same time using the same ID. All right. Thanks, Len.
Thank you, Joe. So to the initial question, to get to the Talk Aloud feature, you want to go to the article, for example, that you'd like to have read to you. So, for example, if I wanted to have state won't take over Fulton voting, if I want to have that article read to me, I'd simply tap that article, and it's going to put the article in article view for me. Now, at the top, above the article, near my share options, the last icon there is the Talk Aloud option. So if I select that option, it's going to let you know that you've now selected the Read Aloud tool. So you just simply close this little disclosure message there, and you'll notice that now next to the little face there's a play button. If you press that play button, this will begin to read the article to you. And as Joe mentioned, I won't torture you guys and make you listen to that, but that's how you activate that option. It will read the paper aloud to you. It's really cool. I'm working on trying to get Joe to replace that voice with my voice, but I'll keep you posted on that. But that's basically how you do that, Joe.
Excellent. Thanks, Len. And then Lawrence also had a question about sending copies of particular articles to other individuals. And Takanori was also asking about copying and keeping articles on their cell phone. So can you show us that option, please, Len?
Yes. And I'm on the main page of the paper now. So from the main page of the paper, if you wanted to share an article, you can do so by downloading a particular page or article. So for example, if I wanted the same article we just looked at and I wanted to share it, I would go to article view to share this particular article. And at the top here, on the upper left corner side, on the upper left side of the paper, there's a share option to email this particular article, or you can share it via Facebook or Twitter. And the pages, those little pages there that you see, this will allow you to clip the article for sharing. Now, once you clip the article should be in the My Content section of your where your settings are, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So again, to share the article, you want to use one of the share options that are there in the upper left corner of the page. Now, if you wanted to download an entire page or an entire paper for sharing, you want to use the icon that you see here. It looks like a box with an arrow pointing down. That's the download option. This will allow you to download a particular section or the entire paper. So if I wanted to download page 16, for example, I would scroll down to page 16, tap page 16. If you notice, there's a check mark now by page 16. Once I've selected page 16, I would hit select. Excuse me, you can see that. Oh, I've selected all, excuse me. I go back down to my page here and I select download, excuse me. It'll begin to download that page for me, and it's going to let me know that it's ready. And now it's downloaded this page for offline reading. Now, you're going to find this page in your downloads for this particular device because it's downloaded it on this device for me. So you would go to where your downloads are for this device to locate the page that you've downloaded. Now, if I wanted to bookmark or save something for offline reading to come back and read it later, there is a little flag. It looks like it's right next to the print option. That's the bookmark icon. If you select the bookmark icon, it will bookmark this particular section for me. And that information should be in the My Content section here, down below at the bottom of the page. If you're on a desktop version, this toolbar, again, will be in the upper right corner of this page. So if you hit the My Content section, as you can see, the page that I've bookmarked is now waiting for me in the My Content section, and it has bookmarks right next to it, and it will allow me to come back and read this article or read this page for later. So if you tap it, it's going to take me directly to that particular page. And as you can see, the bookmark icon is still highlighted, indicating that this page has been bookmarked.
Thank you, Len.
You're welcome.
All right, so Ruth is asking, does the digital edition reduce the cost of the AJC to customers? And then we've also had several people asking about what's happening with print. And those are both excellent questions. So I'm not going to put Len on the spot. I'll answer that one. First of all, great question on the cost. Honestly, the cost of the AJC, the print piece of it does play a part, but by far the largest portion of the cost of the newspaper is paying for all of the information that we get in to provide the reporters, all of the investigative reporting that we've done, the apartment dwelling, anything like that costs us. There's a tremendous cost associated with sourcing that information, verifying it, and providing it back out to you in a manner that you can most comfortably read it. But it does, if we eliminated print, that would reduce the expense somewhat. But by and large, the bulk of our expenses are with actually getting and providing the news to you on a daily basis. And as far as print, I think we all know at some point, hopefully in the very, very far future, it will be digital only, but we would like to avoid that for as long as possible. And I know that as of right now, for this year, we plan on continuing to offer print. Everything beyond that just depends upon the environment, the increasing costs, and so on. But we absolutely are committed to providing print as long as it's a viable option for us to do so. Hopefully that answers your question. And if I could give you an exact date, trust me, I would, because I would be winning the lottery right after that, because obviously I would have some inside information somewhere. Molly is asking, her husband has had the AJC subscription since 1985. She gets the email in the morning but cannot access previous editions. Do I now have to have my own subscription and pay, or do I use his login? So Molly, you should be able to access with his login. Or as I said previously, you can also set up your own login using the same account. And if you have any trouble with that, again, 404-522-4141, and we'll be happy to help you do so. Len, can you just very quickly show how to access the back archives?
Sure.
Previous editions of the paper?
Sure. Thank you, Joe. All right. The previous editions are actually located conveniently right below the thumbnail for today's paper. So if you scroll down, you'll notice a tab that says previous editions. You'll find the first 30 days of back issues or previous editions there. And you also have access to the last 4 years of previous editions, and you can access those by pressing the little calendar icon that's located across from previous editions. You'll notice if you tap it, you'll have the option to choose the year that you're looking for. So for example, if I wanted to go back to 2019 and I wanted to access the Christmas edition of 2019, I'd select December, and it's going to bring up all of the papers from December. And I'd scroll down to that date. So I scroll down to Christmas and select that paper, and it's going to direct me to the Christmas edition of 2019. So once you tap it, you'll be on the front page of that particular paper. So that's how you access back issues and previous editions of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Okay, thanks, Len. And we're getting the vigorous sign that we have overstayed our welcome. So thank you all very much. These have been a lot of great questions. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. And any questions that you have that were not answered in today's call, we will be following up with you through email to make sure that they are answered. Thank you all very much and have a wonderful rest of your day.